Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to Raising Ummah, and today I have another book review for you. I know it's been a while, but let's get to it. I am very, very excited about reviewing this book. I This was recommended by the library for the young adult or youth summer reading, and to be honest, I'm always suspicious when it comes to the recommendation for the recommended book list for young adults or youth because of today's standards of the society. But I was amazed by this book. First of all, it's 100% clean literature. Has nothing bad in it, nothing at all that is that goes well, first of all, that goes against our teachings or our standards as Muslims. So it was really, really good. It's the genre of this book is kind of fantasy. It's about witches, so I'm not sure. Some people are against witches and stuff and magic. But overall, the reason I like this book is because of how you can use this story and this book to discuss with your children a very, very, very important uh, topic in our world today. Let me first, this is called the book. Let me just walk you through the book first and then come to how to use it, or how I will be using it. The Girl Who Drank the Moon by Kelly Barnhill. And of course, because I like this book, I will read her other books. She has a few good books with a lot of awards, so that will make me, curious, of course. Let me read you the, little summary of the book. Every year, the people of the protectorate leave, so this is like a village or, a little town, leave a baby as an offering to the witch who lives in the forest. They hope this sacrifice will keep her from terrorizing their town. But the witch in the forest, Zan, is actually kind. She shares her home with a wise swamp monster and a perfectly tiny dragon. Zan rescues the children and delivers them to welcoming families on the other side of the forest, nurturing the babies with starlight on the journey. One year, Zan accidentally feeds a baby moonlight instead of starlight, filling the ordinary child with exceptional magic. Zan decides she must raise this girl, whom she calls Luna, as her own. As Luna's 13th birthday approaches, her magic begins to emerge, with dangerous consequences. Meanwhile, a young man from the protectorate is determined to free his people by killing the witch. Diddly birds with uncertain intentions flock nearby. A volcano quiet for centuries rumbles just beneath the earth's surface, and the woman with the tiger's heart is on the prowl. And that is it. That's the summary of the book. So basically, it's a little town with people ruling it, and the people ruling it isolating the whole town from the rest of the world, telling them that the town is surrounded by a forest, and they're telling them that if you cross this forest, there is a witch there that will basically kill you. She's very dangerous. She's very bad. And to keep her calm, we have to take a child, the youngest child every year, and as a sacrifice for this witch to keep her calm and quiet and away from us and from destroying our town. And surprisingly, over the years, people submitted to what the rulers of the town are saying, and that's what they do. Some people try to resist, but they end up in the mental institution or with the other the rest of the government, the part of the government, like they have their own tower, where they lock these people in. So they were terrorizing the whole town, telling them this story. Till at some point a boy, and then later a girl who they ended up getting married, they worked together to tell the whole. First they say, okay, so we're gonna go and get rid of this witch. We're not gonna let her terrorize our town. We cannot just live like this. But then the truth is, the witch was actually nice. She had no idea why people were leaving these children every year in the forest. And she would take these children and give them to loving families on the other side of the forest. Meanwhile, that man and his wife found out that this is all a lie, and the people controlling the society or their town were just for some reason lying to them. So they fought the fight, and they brought truth into light, and they saved their town. And the truth was, I don't know if I'm spoiling the whole book to you, but the truth was, it's very important for me to explain the book so that you know how I am going to use it and see if that's something that you're gonna like, how I'm gonna connect it to the moral of the story. So the truth was, the group who were ruling the town were the bad witches. They're the witches, and their magic grow from the misery and sadness of other people. So it was very important for them to cause sadness and fear and misery to other people for their magic to grow. And that's why they came up with the sacrifice, because what could make somebody's life miserable than taking away their children from them? So the entire year, the whole town will be on alert, thinking like, if somebody's pregnant, oh my God, is my child going to be the youngest? Is he or she will be the ones taken as a sacrifice to the witch? So the entire town was gloomy year round. And that's how the witches inside the town were thriving. Anyway, so as I said, it's a big book, but the chapters are fairly medium sized, not very long, not very short. It's about, I think, 42 or something 47 chapters. Of course, it took me forever with all what's going on, but the language is not so bad. It's definitely not for beginner readers or reluctant readers, although the I wanted to say something, I forgot, sorry. I was gonna say, the language is not for reluctant readers or ones who are easily bored, but the events are exciting, so that could catch the reader. It's nice, and it will keep you hooked to the book. Now, how I'm going to use this book, my daughter can't wait. My 15-year-old daughter can't wait to read this, and I think I don't know if my 13 will be interested, but my 10-year-old might be interested in this. The reason I love this book, it kind of reminds me of Dr. Seuss' The Lorax, and how also people in power in the town try to convince, and this is a very good movie, by the way. Although it does have a scene, a kiss scene, but the rest of the movie is great, and also the topic is really, really, the moral of the story is really good, and the book is really good. They try to convince people that trees are very bad for you, because people in power would take these trees and sell oxygen to people. So, so if people started having their own trees, air and oxygen will be free. Um, anyway, so this is kind of the same, to me, the same concept. Having to teach your kids that not because the society says something, we have to submit to it. And that's a very, very important concept. You have to teach your kids from a very young age. And you don't even have to relate it to religion, if you don't want to. Because at some point, especially with the older kids, they was like, oh, you relate everything to religion, and not everything has to be. But common sense, not just because most of the people around you agree that something is true, that makes it necessarily true. Unless it's a divine thing. Well, here we go, going to religion. But this is really important concept. Not because the society says you have to wear a bikini at the beach, that makes it right. Not because the society says, same-sex people can get married, that makes it right. Not because you name it, any ridiculous things that the society nowadays agree on, or even the world agree on, agree that it's okay and it's right, makes it right. Now, a very simple thing is look back a few years ago and tell me if this same thing was wrong or right, and how did it change over time. And if it changed over time, that means it just follows people's desire. It's not, it has nothing to do with right or wrong. It follows people's desires, whether it's power or money or just, I don't know, chaos. So this is why I love this book. Any kind of book that talks about this topic, I love it, and I try to introduce it to my children. So I totally recommend this book. It could make a good read aloud. It's just very long. I don't know. I assume it could be an audiobook, so you may want to listen as a family to it and discuss it. But it could be very confusing because every chapter talks from a different perspective. Like a chapter talks about the town, a chapter talks about the witch, and they keep rotating. And then there is a chapter in between where someone is telling a story to a little boy about how this is all not true, what's happening in town, this is wrong. So you could be a little bit confused in the beginning, or the kids can be a little bit confused till as the book goes on, you will get the hang of it. But it's a 386, but as I said, the page is fairly short. Um, and I enjoyed reading it, and I think my daughter will enjoy reading it. So I really do recommend this book. Go get it if for a change. I never read these kind of books like the magic, even Harry Potter. Not my favorite, but I actually did enjoy the topic of this. I mean the story, everything about it. So I hope you guys, if you try it, you like it, and you can, yeah. And it reminds me of a very good ayah, actually. Subhanallah, I was reading. It's in Surah Al-Mu'minun. I hope I find out. Subhanallah, it's open to Surah Al-Mu'minun. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. ولو اتبع الحق أهواءهم لفسدت السماوات والأرض ومن فيهن بل أتيناهم بذكرهم فهم عن ذكرهم معرضون. This could be the ayah you relate it. You relate it to this book and to the concept or the topic of having to not always follow the society's what the society agrees on. Let me translate it. It actually says let me see. I don't want to do the translation myself. Um, so it talks about, yeah, right here, clear Quran, my favorite. Um, Had the truth followed their desires, the heavens, the earth, and all those in them would have certainly been corrupted. In fact, we have brought them the means to their glory, but they turn away from it. Beautiful ayah, and it summarizes everything. It answers every question related to this to your children. That how everything in our society right now is made because it follows people's desires. Let that desire be, I don't know what it is, sexuality, power, money, even knowledge. You know, um, it will be corrupted because it changes over time. But what doesn't change is Allah's divine word. And that's why we have to always stick to it. I don't want to stick to weird or someone else's desires who sat on the table, decided that something is good today and it maybe tomorrow it won't be good for me. Or that decided that it's bad for me today, and maybe tomorrow it won't be good for me, or it will be good for me. I want something solid, set in stone, that have been decided by my Creator, which makes sense. He created me, He knows what's good and bad for me, and therefore that is the only one worth of just sticking to the whole time. Anyway, I promise I won't be long, but it's still long. So I hope you guys like the review, and I hope if you try to read it, you'll like it, and let me know if you do. Don't forget to subscribe to our page, to our channel, to check out our YouTube, Facebook page and our bookstore, Raising Ummah bookstore. And I will see you in another video. Thank you so much. And don't forget to make dua for my family. Jazakum Allah khayran. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.